Hello and welcome back. I wanted to show you at least 5 things on the forward drum to check. This kind of stuff will be helpful on checking all kinds of transmission drums, not just forward drums, not just the TH350, but today we're going to focus on the TH350 and the forward drum. I have a habit of pressing the shaft out of the drums and replacing them separately. So we'll look at the shaft first, and this is a non-lockup because it doesn't have the nipple on it here. So if it was a lockup, you'll need to check the nipple for damage. We need to check for damage here where this bushing rides and here where both of these bushings ride. If these bushings ride, it'll cause other damage to the drum. We'll get into that in a minute. But first we need to check here on this part of the shaft. This is frequently bad, and I can feel the bumps with my fingernail where it's been getting eat up by the brass bushing. Most of these units I replace with the plastic top hat, which is a lot less abrasive on these shafts, but this one's going to need a new shaft anyway. The second thing to check on these drums is, of course, back to the bushings being bad here, because the bushings are so frequently bad on the TH350s. These can move around on the stators, and once they start moving around, this is not a TH350 drum, but this is a good example of what happens when the bushings are bad. You see, you don't just have a history mark like these two history marks right here where the Teflon rings ride, or the metal rings. You have two and then another two history marks, and that is where worn bushings, these bushings in here, have allowed the shaft to move and the drum to hit on the stator, and these two pieces of the stator have made history marks like that, and that drum is ruined. So if you see that on any of these 350 drums, they're ruined. And this isn't even a GM, that's a Ford. So all drums should be checked like that. That will ruin the stator as well, because it mushrooms the top of here, and that will make a lip that sticks out and will cut up your new sealing ring and keep it from being able to sit flat on there and seal off. So this is what the good looking history marks should look like. Down in here, where there's just two of them, not four of them, or two here and one there. That brings us to the next problem. You may be looking for a replacement, or you may be working on something that's been in a motorhome or a weekend car, and it sits and sits for long periods of time until the bottom 3/4 that's been sitting in the fluid like this, but the top has been sitting in moist air. And you can see the rust on the outside here. This doesn't really hurt anything. You could sand that off and be no problem. But this drum has another problem. It also got rust right here. And there's so much rust there that if we were trying to lathe it, put it on a lathe and sand that out, it would be pitted really bad. So sealing rings are not going to survive that. This drum is trash. The next problem we want to look for is everywhere the teeth of the clutches ride. Inboard clutch teeth right here, outboard clutch teeth right here, and we want to look for history marks here. And you can kind of feel a little bit of a knife edge right there where it's starting to show some wear, but it's not enough to hurt anything. You would see indentations here, and I wish I had a example of a bad one to show you, but it's kind of rare this happens. But if they get indentations here that the teeth of the clutches can catch them when they're trying to be compressed, that can cause all kinds of problems. Same thing with here. They'll get little indentations here, and you can almost see history marks here on the outside. It's not only on the edge, but on the outside. As you can see, this drum is just starting to do it. You can see a little bit of a history mark right here, here and here, here and here, here and here. On the outer edge, usually it's right here where they hammer when they're being applied. The drum is turning. But if these get too deep here or here, then the clutch teeth can catch on that, cause problems, and the drum will be art supplies. Okay, the last thing and the most likely to be missed is this little bleed hole right here. Has a check ball in it. From the inside, You can take an appropriately sized punch, get right on the ball, smack it once, and any debris that's in there get crushed. And then from the other side, take a smaller one and just tickle it a little bit, make sure that it is free and moves around. And you think it's free, just move around, take some air and blow from this side, and then take a rubber nozzle tip and try blowing from this side. See if it does stop the air from going that way, because it is a one-way check valve. And make sure that this is not going to just sit there and bleed off your fluid pressure from behind the piston. Even after washing these in the hot washer, I still end up seeing some of this trash right here that I end up having to get out with a wire brush, and then maybe run it through the hot washer again, or do a good hand washing on it. And you know that that trash has got to be accumulating in there below that check ball. So that's why I do that about the check ball. You see how good this surface looks where your piston rings ride, and here too in the center? If you don't check this, and you end up with a drum like this, especially if it's got warning signs like this rust here, and you don't look down in here, you might miss some rust right here. And again, if you've got this much rust and you try to clean that up with sandpaper, you'll have pits that will prematurely wear out the seals. Anything else you think I could have added to this video? Please let me know in the comments below so I can make a better video next time. Hey, if you like this video, we got a whole lot more. We got tool reviews, we've got repair videos, we've got show car videos, hot rods, mod rods, you name it. If it's got wheels on it and an engine, it's probably on this channel. So subscribe, like, and binge watch Saneauto. Binge watch Saneauto. Do not attempt anything you see or hear in this video. Serious injury or death may occur. Saneauto and or Victor Sane cannot guarantee against improper use or unauthorized modifications of this information. Saneauto and or Victor Sane assumes no liability for property damage or injury incurred as a result of any of the information contained in this video. Use this information at your own risk. Saneauto recommends safe practices when working on vehicles and or with tools seen or implied in this video. No information contained in this video shall create any expressed or implied warranty or guarantee of any particular result. Any injury, damage, or loss that may result from improper use of these tools, equipment, or from the information contained in this video is the sole responsibility of the user and not Saneauto nor Victor Sane. In layman's terms, please don't do anything you see me do in my videos. You could end up burnt, bruised, and bleeding just like me. This site contains affiliate links for which I may be compensated.